Hi, my name is Anthony Moore, and today I'll be giving a quick presentation overview of our concussion detection application. So to get things started, we'll just log into the application here on the desktop. We have two main components. We have the client and the machine learning component. So we'll be demonstrating the client here. So we'll open this in terminal. To get things started, we can just go Python 3 client, and that should start up the application. So the first window that opens up here, this is the Pyqt5 Gui Application. It's a GUI framework for Python that kind of uses a model view controller. So from here we can create baseline tests, we can create injury tests, read baselines and read injury tests respectively. So to get things started, we'll do a baseline test. So I'll just enter in the test ID here. So A003, name will be test, and we click submit. So this will start us up in openCV, and basically openCV is going to get requests to the camera, and then this is how we're going to use the eye tracking. So this slider here, this is a threshold slider. So depending on the brightness of the room, you can turn it up or down. So if the room is very bright, you might need to turn it up. If the room is quite dim, you can lower it down a bit. So we'll just set it to about 100, seeing as it's not too bad here. So getting set up, so I'm going to try and position my head in the center of the screen. Ideally this should be done using some form of a box or a tripod, but I don't have one handy, so I'm just going to have to wing it as best I can. So then once I'm set up, I'm going to press R to start the recording. Now, you'll have to forgive my silence there, but it is actually quite difficult to stay perfectly still while doing these tests. So now we're going to read that baseline test. So we'll just enter in the ID that I just did, A003. So this is the test that we just performed. So as you can see, we kind of did up, down, left, right. Now there was a little bit of a gap here in the middle, but it wasn't too bad. And the next window then will show like a k-means clustering. So we kind of have 5 clusters, one for the middle, one for the left, top, bottom, left, right, that kind of thing. So the scatter plot basically shows dots of where the records were located, and the plot essentially just draws lines between those scatters. So just gives you a little bit of contrast to hopefully give better insight. And then this one was classified at 3.85% fail and 96.17% pass. So that was a pretty good eye test there. So next we'll do a injury test. So as you can see, there's a little bit more information you can give here. So we'll go T004. The name will be test. Activity, rugby, I suppose, and description, tackle. Okay, then we'll hit submit. So kind of same thing again. This is just going to open up openCV. We'll just adjust the threshold slider a little bit so it picks up my eyes, and try and position my head in the center of the screen as best I can. And then once I'm set up, I can hit R to record. So what I'm trying to do here is just simulate concussion data, I suppose. So I'm just looking around the screen incoherently as I try to follow this dot around the screen. Seeing as we didn't have real concussion data, this was the best that we could come up with to try and make it as authentic as possible. Okay, we'll see how that did. So that was the data sent up to the database. Then we're going to read in that test. We'll do the same one, T004, submit. Okay, so this is the one we just did there. So as you can see, it was quite bad, kind of all over the place, just trying to replicate having a concussion. The k-means clustering, then we can see the scatter plot here. These are essentially like points of interest, and in the plotted data you can see again it was pretty much all over the place. This one then was classified at 37.3% fail and 62.7% pass, so it was pretty bad. Not a complete fail, but it was pretty bad all the same. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and we'll see you again soon.